Hare Krishna, everyone.
Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranams to everyone.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Mataji, pranam Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam.
Dandvat pranams to everyone. Hare Krishna. So let us start. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhatreshu Nityam Bhagavada Sevayam Bhagatya Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistikhi. So reading from Bhagavatam, 6th canto, the prescribed duties of mankind in that 11th chapter, being the that is King Chitraketu meets the Supreme Lord. Okay, so in that 11th sloka, we'll see 11, 12 and 13 are only puppets, which is the conclusion of this instruction. So I think 12 and 13. Okay, so we'll go with that. You all read for 11 and 12 and 13. I will read actually. Yeah. Go ahead, Matajis, who want to recite actually. Recite. Madhumai Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranams Mataji.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nadatta Atma hi gunam, na dosham na kriya phalam. Udasina vadasinaha, paravaradruk Ishvaraha.
Thank you.
Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Subbarao Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandvat Pranam.
Pranams Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nadatta Atma hi gunam, na dosham na kriya phalam. Udasina vadasinaha, paravara drugishvaraha.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Chitra Mohini Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranams.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nadatta Atma hi gunam, na dosham na kriya phalam. Udasina vadasinaha, paravara drugishvaraha. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Usha Dayavati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranams.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nadatta Atma hi gunam, na dosham na kriya phalam. Udasinavat asina, paravaradrik Ishvaraha. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Prananandini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, प्रणाम माताजी।
Pranams Mataji.
नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। न दत्त आत्मा हि गुणं, न दोषं न क्रियाफलम्। उदासीन वदासीनः, पराभद्रक ईश्वरः। हरे कृष्ण माताजी। थैंक यू माताजी।
Thank you, Mataji. Uma Kulkarni Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। न दत्त आत्महि गुणं, न दोषं न क्रियाफलम्। उदासीन वदासीनः, परावरदृगीश्वरः। हरे कृष्ण माताजी।
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Revati Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, pranams Mataji.
Pranams.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Nadat Atma hi gunam, na dosham na kriya phalam. Udasina vadasinaha, paravadirga Ishvaraha. Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mataji. Madhumati Vilasini Mataji.
हरे कृष्ण माताजी, दंडवत प्रणाम माताजी।
Dandvat Pranams Mataji. Hare Krishna.
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। न दत्त आत्मा हि गुणं, न दोषं न क्रियाफलम्। उदासीन वद आसीनः, परावरदृग ईश्वरः। थैंक यू माताजी। हरे
Thank you,
कृष्ण।
Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. The last portion of the Atma speaking here actually. So that is Nadatta Atma hi gunam, na dosham na kriya phalam. Udashinavat Ashina Paravara Drik Ishvara. Synonyms: Na, not. Adatta, accepts. Atma, the Supreme Lord. Hey, indeed. Gunam, happiness. Na, not. Dosham, unhappiness. Na, not. Kriyapalam, the result of any fruitive activity. Udashina, but exactly like a neutral man. Ashina, sitting in the core of heart. Para, avara, the drik, seeing the cause and effect. Ishvara, the Supreme Lord. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The Supreme Lord, that is Atma, the creator of cause and effect, does not accept the happiness and distress that result from fruitive actions. He is completely independent of having to accept a material body, and because he has no material body, he is always neutral. The living entities, being part and parcel of the Lord, possess his qualities in a minute quantity. Therefore, one should not be affected by lamentation. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. The conditioned soul has friends and enemies. He is affected by the good qualities and faults of his position. The Supreme Lord, however, is always transcendental. Because he is the Ishvara, the Supreme Controller, he is not affected by duality. It may therefore be said that he sits in the core of everyone's heart as the neutral witness of the causes and effects of one's activities, good and bad. We should also understand that Udashina, neutral, does not mean that he takes no action. Rather, it means that he is not personally affected. For example, a court judge is neutral when two opposing parties appear before him, but he still takes action as the case warrants. To become completely neutral, indifferent to material activities, we should simply seek shelter at the lotus feet of the supreme neutral person. Maharaja Chitraketu was advised that remaining neutral in such trying circumstances as the death of one's son is impossible. Nevertheless, since the Lord knows how to adjust everything, the best course is to depend upon Him and do one's duty in devotional service to the Lord. In all circumstances, one should be undisturbed by duality. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 2.47, Karmanya ve adhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachanaha ma karma phal hetubhut mato sangostva akarmani. So you have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. One should execute one's devotional duty, and for the results of one's action, one should depend upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Shivadanayanuruvacha iti udirya gato jivo jnatasya tasya tada te tada vishmita mumukshushokamam chittatma sneha shinkalam. Shri Shukadev Goswami continued, when the conditioned soul Jiva in the form of Maharaja Chitraketu's son had spoken in this way and then left, Chitraketu and other relatives of the dead son were all astonished. Thus they cut off the shackles of their affection, which was due to their relationship with him, and gave up their lamentation. Nihritya jnatyayo jnater deham krutvochita kriyaha tat yajur tushyajam sneham shoha moha bhayatidam. After the relatives had discharged their duties by performing the proper funeral ceremonies and burning the dead child's body, they gave up the affection that leads to illusion, lamentation, fear, and pain. Such affection is undoubtedly difficult to give up, but they gave it up easily. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanaya Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Gadamayam Tadati Swapadandikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radhakanta Namastude Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanushruti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpadarupyasya Kripa Sindhubhya Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivashadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Okay. Mugam karoti vachalam bangum langayate girim yat kripatam aham vande paramananda madhavam Shri Krishna Chaitanya Ishwaram. Nadatta atmahi gunam na dosham na kriya phalam udashina vad ashina paravara ishvara. So here the conversation that is between the son and the father, correct now? So here son is instructing that is about his that is the life whatever he has taken previously, and then he is getting ready for the next life. So he is speaking. Actually, do we think that the son is speaking there, the Atma is speaking? Do we think the son is only speaking? Do we think?
No, Mataji, no, Mataji.
Mataji.
The
No.
soul.
Soul.
Soul is there.
That soul, but who has been empowered by whom? Narada Muni.
Narada Muni.
Narada Muni has given that empowerment. Okay, so indirectly, already Narada Maharishi and Angira Rishi has spoken about that. Okay, he has spoken, but not in this way. So still, some tinge of the lamentation was there. Chitraketu was full drowned in that lamentation only, because he had only one son, so many wives. See, everyone, we also would have passed through some reversals in our life, like losing our father or mother, our own son, our own kid, our husband or wife, in some part of the life. That means some relative very, very close, whom we would have felt without them, we will not be able to survive. So every moment we'll be always, or a friend also. It can be a friend also. No need to be a relative. No, maybe in the close circle or in the next circle or in the whatever way. But the like-mindedness between the people, even the son and the father. If the father leaves, the son will be so much collapsed. Correct now? Like that. So here, this lamentation is more because he was having an expectation also that future of that is oblations, all those things. And then he was so attached to the sun. The sun is the only life for him. Okay, that was the thing. That is, it has been expressed by Chitraketu. When sun was there, he was having that relationship, so much attachment. Even the mother also was able to little bit balance, but Chitraketu was not able to balance, so much attachment. So after giving direct instructions also, still Chitraketu had some portion, even he was not able to get out of that lamentation. So hence what happened actually, so Narada Maharishi empowered the soul to come inside the body, and then the Jiva was speaking actually. So it is not the sun is speaking. It is not with the material body possessing the sun with this senses is speaking. It is from the Atma he is able to hear actually. So here, so the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the creator, the cause and the effect, correct now? For every action, there will be a reason for that particular action, and then the outcome of the action also is there, correct now? Any action is having its own outcomes, but wherein this material world, we are having this experience in the dual way. Either it can be a enjoyment or it can be a suffering. Either one always will be passing through. But a person who is situated in the neutral, that is like a Siddhartha Muni, he will never feel it as a pain or a pleasure. So because it is all the way we have to accept and move forward. That is the way of life here. So one must accept it. So whereas Supreme Lord is in the super neutral position. Okay, because he is above the three gunas, he is a nirguna, and then he being situated is totally transcendental. We are only put up in here the material and spiritual combination, because the body being material, the shuttle body being material, gross body and shuttle body, and then only the jiva is the spirit soul. So like that, the combination with that we are being put up here. Whereas Supreme Lord is totally different. But that should be the situation of the soul also. That is the ideal or the constitutional position of the soul. He also should accept both the suffering and the pleasure as the pain and pleasure as equal. So that is expected here, because the Lord also has a desire, and we also have that tinge of that small, we are all minute, we are part and parcel of him. We also possess some qualities of the, whatever qualities we possess, it is also from the Supreme Lord itself. Correct now? So happiness, we want to take the pleasure. But after taking this body, there are two types of pleasure. One is the material pleasure and the spiritual pleasure. So we are always situated on the bodily platform, and our inclination is towards the material pleasure. So when we are aiming for the pleasure, obviously we'll be having the, if we are not achieving that, obviously we are put up in the painful mode. So here, but Supreme Lord is not like that. And even the constitutional portion of the soul also is not like that. So it will not accept the happiness and distress. That should be the motive. If a soul is able to achieve to that position, obviously it will never come back again. So one should strive for that. And results from fruitive actions, whatever actions we have performed here, and then expecting the outcome to be favorable. If it is not favorable on the material platform, we'll be lamenting. So he is completely independent of having to accept a material body. Correct? Na? He is completely independent. So that is Lord is Swarat. He is the only Swarat person. Okay, we are all in any way, either in the spiritual platform also, we'll be really knowing we are totally, even though the Jiva is independent, actually the Anandamaya, he will be able to relish on the spiritual platform. Still, the Jiva is able to realize every moment we are dependent on the Supreme Lord's mercy. Every moment we are dependent on the spiritual master's mercy. So that will be there. So at any point of the time, we are always dependent only. But this is the good way of dependency, whereas this is the suffering way of dependency. So the materially, if you are dependent, it can be anything. Whatever way, it can be a support from the family, or it can be a physical support, moral support, financial support, whatever support it may be. So we are always dependent on the others actually. It is not we are individually, we are acting even in the external way. Internal way, we are always acting because of the presence of the Lord in the heart. Whereas externally, we are totally dependent on someone. For example, if you are working in our organization as a team, we are always have to hear from the higher authority, and then the guidance from the higher authority, and accordingly taking the work schedule and giving the outcome, and then all those things, submitting the whatever the work has been given. So we are always dependent. So no way we are independent, even in the material platform. That we never analyze actually. And because he has no material, but Supreme Lord has no material body, and he is always neutral. Okay, one should strive for that above the three gunas. Then only we will be able to become neutral. Otherwise, the reversals we will never accept actually. So actually, when we go back in the before Krishna conscious days, actually, I would like to share my own experience. So when I was working in Accenture as a manager, actually, software manager. So it's a service-based company. So whenever the project is there, we will be able to get the projects. Otherwise, we have to sit in the bench. And then being in the technical side, I really don't like to work for the management activities in general actually. So like how many bench people have come, and then what are the tasks they have been given. So how long we'll be able to upskill our things actually? And especially when we go for the higher roles, you will be having a very challenge to get retained in the office. That will be very, very challenging position. Okay, then I was put up in the bench, even though I have been given opportunity. I should say thanks to Ashanshir also for keeping me for little long period, maybe 7 years, 6 to 7 months. I have been in the bench. So many projects came, but the projects didn't go successful after getting selected also. So then I finally thought sitting in the bench and then how long we'll upskill and then doing this bench work, I really felt very bad. And then I don't want to sit idle. So then for being a workaholic, I thought let me resign my job and go back to my, that is our own family business is there running. So it has been run by my Prabhu. So that go and help at least. So I felt and then I resigned my job. So in the process, actually, my son met with an accident, that is in 2019 only. So it is a very unexpected way wherein his thigh bone fracture and then which made me so lamentation, because already I was in a painful that I have been not recognized for getting an that means now I think very foolish it is. So earlier I was thinking, see, that is a part of life we need to accept. So wherein I was not at all accepting why I need to sit in the bench, because giving so much that is a work way I have been very efficiently doing, why I need to be sitting like this. I was totally hating myself only. And then in addition, my son's accident also made me mentally disturbed. For nearly 6 to 7 months, I was very silent actually. So even though I resigned and I came to office, I was not focused on the work, even in our own company also. I was simply sitting in the chair and then I'm seeing everyone not focused only. So much efficient lady and then now with a zero productivity. So I was able to realize that. So I'm not doing any work only. That I should say thanks to my Prabhu that he didn't tell why you didn't work only. He knows that I am undergoing something. So I was keeping quiet and then he didn't tell me anything. So then my son also got recovered and then he became fine. And then one fine day I got this flyer actually June 20 to that time again the corona started, and then June 20, that is 13th June, the first batch of Bhagavad Gita classes. So it was NND Prabhuji's number. I sent whether you will teach sloka Prabhuji, like that only. I asked slokas. Prabhuji told yes. So I think till now, Prabhuji, whenever he tells me, I have saved you as a number, not in my name. My name will reflect as it is a sloka or something only he was telling. I'm not able to recollect. So like that day only I felt something is, what is that? My happiness actually it started, I feel now. Now I am passing through this after attending Premikishori Mataji's 18 days class. So when that 8 o'clock will come, that very first batch. So I was so eager. And that 18 days walk through, and then Mataji had a sadhu sangha, and we had as level 2 classes also. I think till 6th chapter Mataji continued actually. So detailed class actually it will be. Those were the wonderful sessions. I relished a lot, and which gave me ananda. So in that mode, this classes started, and then Mataji only referred for classes taking also. So today I'm sitting in this platform. The mercy of a Vaishnava should be there. So because of her mercy only, I'm sitting here actually. So she referred to NND Prabhuji and then NND Prabhuji's mercy, and then so this is how the classes started. Now that balancing after reading so many places actually in Bhagavdam. So accepting the reversals is the main criteria a jiva has to cultivate. So that's what the lessons learned. So now I feel that how much immature I have been there that time. That means if you are only on the material platform, any living entity will be behaving like that only. And the surrounding us also, now many are there in the material platform only, and then their actions will be like that. So we need to accept them also as it is. That those are the lessons learned. I felt like sharing to you all. So here, after reading this sentence, yes, when we cultivate that habit, that means this happiness and distress are common factors here, and we have to pass through. But simply accepting the happiness and distress in an equal way, it will never help to pass through. We have to put ourselves in some actions actually. So then only we'll be able to realize it. Without realization, happiness and distress accepting that time will never become fulfilled. At one point of time, we'll start rejecting also. Even though it is a wrong thing, even we feel that we'll get anger and then we will reject it. So if we are not in that safe service. So the service only molds a person, and then the devotional service we will be able to achieve it actually. So he has no material body. Here, these are the qualities of the Supreme Lord. Even Jiva is also having that small portion. Correct na? So the expected behavior of the Jiva is he has to work towards the neutral. Wherein because of this condition, what do you mean by the condition? Condition means we are under the control. So under which control? Maya, external energy. That's why we are in the condition. Whereas the constitutional position is under the control of the Supreme Lord. So at any point of time, we are being under the control only. There, it has been taken care in a correct way. That means which will not bind us. Whereas here, we'll be always getting binded actually. So that one difference we have to see. The living entities being part and parcel of the Lord possess his qualities in a minute quantity. We also possess whatever qualities the Supreme Lord is having, we also possess, but very, very, very minute. So, but that's why it is almost like a negligible thing only we are having. But by the mercy of pure devotee and mercy of a Vaishnava, we'll be able to get that identified. So we are the condition. So we have to work towards the constitution. So we should not lament for whatever is not. That means there is one sloka in Bhagavad Gita, that is the permanent, a wisely person will never lament for the temporary things, and he will never be so much, that means, and a material person will always will never think about the permanent things also. He will not have the knowledge of the permanent things. So there are two things. I'm not able to give you the right way, but a wisely person will always be thinking for the eternal things, and then he will work towards that. Whereas the material person will be always favoring towards the material possessions, which are all temporary, and then they will never strive for the permanent things actually. So this thing we have to understand. So conditioned souls as friends and enemies. These are all because of the mind. Correct now? The mind actually assumes if he is favorable, he is a friend. If he is not favorable, he is not a friend. So that's how the mind setup we always work actually. So he is affected by the good qualities and the faults of his position. 100%. Correct na? So when a good thing happens, we'll be more enjoyful, and then we'll be accepting the things as it is. Whereas when there is a reversal, we'll be actually lamenting. But when you are having a reversal, we should always retrospect ourselves itself. So what made this situation? What went wrong? So in even software industry, there is a sprint module actually. So they will granularize each and every task, and then so this weekly sprint they will run, or bi-weekly sprint they will run. So they will have a meeting actually, daily meeting, a scrum they will do, and then they will update whatever the task has been given, completed or not, today's what task they have taken, what went wrong, like that. In everyone's life, we have to also retrospect on day-to-day activities itself. So what way we have done this task in a good way, and then what way we can improvise it, where we went wrong. Instead of finding the other person's fault, we should retrospect our own actions. Then we'll be able to improve. So the Supreme Lord, however, is always transcendental. We are not transcendental. We are by nature transcendental, but put under the condition. Okay. So because of the modes of this material nature. Because he is Ishvara, is the supreme controller, he is not affected by duality. Correct now? So one should strive to above the three modes. Then only we will be able to come out of the impact of the duality. It may be therefore be said that he sits core when Supreme Lord is sitting in our as a witness. So sometimes when we are put in the reversal modes, we will always think why bad is happening to me. I didn't do anything mistake here. Correct now? So we think Lord is sometimes where that is when a person is not in a realized mode, Lord is also not visualizing. He is simply sitting. He is not at all helping me. Correct? He is in a neutral mode. Udasina means it's not that Supreme Lord is not aware of our situation, but he is in neutral, but he will certainly favor actually. He will be giving the path, but we are not able to visualize that if we are in the unrealized way. Whereas a realized person will never think that this is the lessons learned given by the Supreme Lord, so that we will follow whatever the mistakes we have done, we have to rectify ourselves, and we should follow the path guided by the Supreme Lord. It's like that. He is a Chaitya Guru who is sitting inside, and we should take the shelter under the realized person. So if one takes the shelter under the realized person, that is a solution. So we can take the proper guide. Tat viti pranipatena pariprashnena seveya. Correct na? So we should render the service submissively and then attentively, and then we need to hear the instruction, and then we should never deviate from the instruction. If one strives for that, obviously there is nothing to lament here and nothing to be pleasurable here. Everything is like the higher taste actually they will be achieving. So that's what the solution has been given by Hare Krishna. That's what the shelter, that is the solution for all our lamentation, what we have passed through in this life. And there is one super sloka here. This sloka, Karmanye, this is a wonderful sloka in second chapter, wherein when Arjuna was lamenting, he will be getting incurring sin if he kill his own relatives and all. So Supreme Lord has advised Sri Krishna, so you have the right to perform your prescribed duty. So which varna you belong, what is your duty, you have that only right you have, no other thing you are having. And you should never feel that you are, because of you only this the outcome has come. So you are not the great person. That means you are not the person who has created these great things, nothing. So you do your duty, okay? Whatever outcome, you better surrender it to me. Like that, never consider yourself to be the cause of the results of your activities. This one point actually everyone has to keep in the mind. Whatever good things we do in this life, we should never collar ourselves that I only did it, I only achieved, mine, that factor we need to cut off. So we should never take the credit of whatever the good things we have done. So it is by the mercy of the spiritual master and by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, we have achieved this much. Okay. So that means it has been going on. That's it. And then never be attached to not doing. So if you think that we are not the doer, and then if you simply sit, so still, if you're not performing our duties, the sin, whatever, for the sin due to not performing our duty, also we have to accept it. We have to pass through. So that also will come to our bucket. If Arjuna wouldn't have waged the war and he would have taken the karma sannyasa, and then obviously by the will of the Lord, Dharma would have established, that is secondary. But the outcome, if it is not in favorable, obviously not rendering his duty and the suffering of the people, not establishing the Dharma, he was not supporting for that. That sin also Arjuna would have incurred. So that's why we should never be attached not doing our duty. We should, that inertia, sitting idle is never appreciated. So always we have to perform our duty. We should never deviate from that. But not with the intention of I am the doer. So we are only the instrument in the hands of the Supreme Lord and we are performing. So that attitude one should develop. So one should execute one's devotional duty. So everything is a devotional duty only here, because we cannot separate the Supreme Lord from all our activities. Correct na? So as yes, it has been the duty given by him. So we have been, as per our karmic reactions, we have taken a birth here, and then we have our responsibilities even on the material platform. We have to that is, we have to perform by keeping the Krishna centric. So for the results of one's action, one should depend. So whatever results the Supreme Lord giving is going to give us, it's only benefit for us. So whether it may be as per the material platform, it may be a good or bad, but it will be the ultimate good for us. Okay, so one should develop that type of mentality. So with this, hearing this from the son, Chitraketu and other relatives who are hearing from that son, they felt, that means they were all astonished. Okay, and then they immediately got the clarity actually. So how actually they need to transform oneself. So they cut off the shackles of that means so much he was lamenting now towards the son's affection. Even the wife and the other the servants who are all there, correct? Na? They had affection towards the king's son. So that and all they left because this is a temporary relationship and then the jiva is the eternal and they gave up their lamentation. So that's how these are the lessons learned. Why we read all those things in Bhagavdam is the lessons actually. So we need to, that is practices, application part we need to take it up. But that means progressively we have to take it up. Then only we'll be also able to achieve the perfection. So that is the ultimate goal. And then which will be like the minimum level, at least to go back to the Godhead. Correct? Na? So that much we have to practice. So with this I conclude today's session. Any doubts or anyone would like to speak, please come forward. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavat
Pranams Prabhuji.
Mataji, in this sloka, first what we rendered, it is started as na Atma.
Yeah.
But while translating, we are treating that Atma as Ishvara.
Yeah.
But how to know whether we read Atma, understand we are talking about soul or we are talking about super soul. Suddenly we find in translation only just by our faith and because Pujya Guruji, Jai Srila Prabhupada said, we just follow the translation. But if you read the sloka and give in only sloka and tell the meaning, when to say Atma is Paramatma, when to say Atma is Atma, that is one doubt lingering, Mataji.
Yeah. See here, the Jiva is speaking, but by the empowerment of Narada Maharshi. Correct, na? It is not the Jiva is going to speak. So then, obviously, it is by the instructions from, it is the indirect instruction from Naradaji. Okay, Narada Maharshi. So he is comparing actually from where we got these eternal things and then what are the quality the Atma should possess. He is referring to the qualities of the Supreme Act. So always the Supreme is above the material platform and we also should strive for. That is the comparison he is giving actually. Sometimes in reversal we think that many people will think what the Supreme Lord is not, if God is there he would have helped me. I am in so much crisis, correct na? And then if still the suffering is going on, he would have already, Lord is there and then he is already supporting one day. At least we are able to balance that situation. That's what we are not thinking. Na? So he's always neutral. So Lord is not favoring someone and he is not unfavorable to someone. So here the mentality of the Jiva, when he is put in under the conditioned soul, it has been spoken as the duality. Na? Whereas in comparison with that, Lord is not on the material platform and then he is not under the dualities. To compare that, it has been spoken with reference, Prabhuji. Correct. It has been referred. For that purpose only it has been referred. As you told, yes, we will not be able to. Some places the soul has been, mind has been referred as a soul. Even one particular place, I think body also has been referred to as a living entity. We would have studied now. So it depends on the context. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji. There's some sloka in.
I'm
we
not
got
able to recollect
Deha itself as a Atma.
Yeah. So like that only here for the comparison level, it has been spoken like that. So that's why we should follow the acharyas. So the realized soul who has given this, even in Prabhupada's purports also, sometimes we will not be able to, that indirectly we have to go depth and then we have to analyze. I mean, most of the places it is so direct actually is given, but if we are thoroughly following only, we'll be able to understand the things. Yeah. Thank you, Prabhuji, for speaking out. Thank you.
And next sloka, this Jiva speaks, it is mentioned as the Baddha Jiva spoil. Once he leaves the body, is he still Baddha Jiva?
I'm not able to follow you, Prabhuji.
In the sloka, Mataji, it came this Baddha Jiva. That means the soul that is conditioned. Conditioned. I mean, I'm telling the meaning. It told us conditioned soul, when the conditioned soul in the form of Maharaja Chitraket's son, when that is speaking on behalf of, because Narada Muni is provoking, But once
He gave
it
that
left the
empowerment. Yes, he
when
gave
it's
that. Yes,
when
yes,
once it leaves the body,
yes.
is it still conditioned soul?
Yes,
Conditioned soul
actually.
means it should have a body, no, Mataji.
No, that means he leaves the soul and then he was ready now to go take up the another birth actually. That's what he spoke, which that means current father or previous birth father, he was asking, na? So like that. So this type of speech will never come from a jiva directly. It has been empowered by the mercy of the pure devotee. That's the reason he actually, in fact, instead of Naradaji continually speaking in the direct way, he made the jiva to speak. But the original position of the jiva is has his own karmic things and all. Na? That only it will leave the body. But that particular situation has been made by indirectly to give the instructions to Narada Chitraketu, so that he has to cut off the lamentation. He was still lamenting now after giving the direct instructions for that sake. But originally, the jiva which has been residing in the sun's body, it was ready to leave to the that means leave the body, and then he was getting prepared for the next body. That was the thing. Okay. That empowerment was given by Narada Maharshi Prabhuji. Okay. So like that we can take that means a person who sits in a Vyasasana, that means not in my level and all, I'm telling, who has been in a purely way and all, so who are in a very little higher conscious way. So the empowerment will always given by their own guru and then to speak on that actually. Okay. So like that, that realization, whatever it has been made, it is purely by the mercy of the devotee. But we don't know actually that jiva has what way it has got enriched, and then really that jiva has taken forward whatever it has been spoken through him. We cannot comment on that because we don't know how actually the next birth would have taken for that son. We really don't know. But obviously, the spoken structure was by the empowerment of Naradaji. That much only I can, based on the proper details and all, I am able to understand, and then I am able to give you Prabhuji. That's it. That's what I have understood here.
Hare
Okay.
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yes.
That some thought process that arised in me. I just a question whether it is true or not. Like when a soul leaves the body, that shloka is there in second chapter. It says na Vayur Gandha Vina. So it carries the smell of that particular body. है ना, Chitman Buddhi Ahankar. That is.
It is
But
not
when the jiva.
No, it is not the carrying the smell. For example, it is there is an analogy. If there is a good smell or bad smell, whatever it may be, if there is a strong breeze, actually, in the breeze itself, that smell will be carrying forward. Like that, when the soul leaving the body, it will take all the what is the consciousness left over, whatever the thing it has now, that is desire, whatever it may be, that also will carry forward actually.
Yes.
That's
So then it is carrying, but when the soul leaves the body, it is pure. It is pure. So as it is leaving the body, it gets all the knowledge, when a child is taking the birth, before that, the God gives them all the knowledge, and he is knowing that, and he promises the God that when he will come, he will remember God always, and he will come back to him like a father says to the child, come back safely, give the tiffin box, everything. But the child is not ready to come back.
But it has been until the jiva is getting liberated, it will be covered by the shuttle body, na?
Yes.
So whatever the feelings, okay, whatever the consciousness it had, so while it was residing in this current body, that will be carried forward. So still, so as long as it is not liberated, it will be in the condition mode only, Mataji. So accordingly,
the child who is speaking to Chitraketu, Maharaj Chitraketu, is definitely a pure soul actually. So that particular
That
child.
I am not able to understand that part, because not understand the sense. I cannot tell guarantee yes it is a realized soul. I cannot tell, because the empowerment has been given by Narada Maharishi. He is speaking through that soul. Actually, he is making the soul to speak the reality actually, so that the lamentation of Chitraketu should stop. The little bit whatever. Still, after giving direct instruction also, he was still in the lamentation mode. So that's the reason the soul was the soul was made to spoke there. So maybe the soul would have, after taking this much knowledge, I don't know what is the outcome of the soul, whether it got liberated or it got with a condition, I don't know. But it is a conditioned soul. Okay.
Actually conditioned, but it cannot be. Narad Muni cannot force the soul. So soul is already having that knowledge. That is what I'm feeling. Otherwise, it cannot speak. That is what I'm feeling. Even if it is empowered, nobody can. Means that is a pure soul, na? Nobody can force ki tum waisa hi bolo, what I am saying. So it is the soul already have the knowledge. Might be Narad Muni is making the soul remind. We have no idea about it
I
from the
can give one thing, Mataji, one example. I think we have read in first canto, wherein Arjuna has been a great warrior, actually, correct na? But by whose empowerment he was a great warrior, actually? By the Supreme Lord's will. Okay, if that is a Supreme Lord's will, certainly the Jiva would have been that, he would have known, it would have known that thing, the reality, the condition, from the condition to a liberated mode also it would have gone. If that is not the Supreme Lord's will, means it has to pass through. So we cannot give the judgment, it is a condition only, it is a liberated only, or a constitutional. That is not, we don't have that visibility. It is between the Jiva and the Supreme Lord. We don't know. Like how our own thing, we being the Jiva in this body, we are the Kshetrakna of this body, and Lord knows everyone's thing. So similarly, the empowerment of an Acharya is very, we cannot reduce the level. So Lord gives that, empowerment to the Acharya, and then through Acharya, we'll be able to, as if it's like the Lord's mercy only we are hearing. So we are seeing Lord's mercy through the spiritual master. So we should not get it reduced to that level, because the representative of the Lord, so is as good as, I think always Lord wants to glorify the devotee more than his own actions. That we have read many places, correct na? So the empowerment of Narada, so we cannot reduce to that level. Okay, it is as good as equal to the Supreme Personality's mercy. So here the mercy of the Narada Maharishi has made the soul of the sun spoke actually. Okay, the truth he has spoken. So we don't know whether the soul became liberated after that, or after speaking this, it only got understood the reality of thing, and then it went to God, go back to Godhead. We don't know really. That is between that Jiva and the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is not, we cannot conclude that actually. That's what the understanding I was able to make it from all this study, Mataji. Okay. Any other thing, if you want to, you can speak out. Like when Supreme Lord left this world, why I am comparing Arjuna's thing is, when Supreme Lord left, okay, to Goloka, so that is 16,001 not, that is wife of Lord Shri Krishna, you want to protect, such as women should be protected, and Arjuna took them to the Ashinapur. Correct. Now on the way, by a mere cowherd man, he got defeated actually. So his Paurush, everything gone. So when the Paurush has to be given to the particular living entity, when it has to be taken out, everything will be organized by the Supreme Personality of the Godhead. So we don't have that visibility, and then we cannot predict that. It can be this and that. It can be anything also. But there are two options. Either the Jiva would have got liberated, or it have gone to the next. These are the only two options we had. Because it had the shuttle body also. Na? So when we get liberated only, our shuttle body will not be there. The Atma only will be there. So the shuttle body is already there. Okay. Hare Krishna. I don't know whether I was able to give you the right reply. So,
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
because all empowerment comes from the Supreme Lord, Mataji. It cannot be through spiritual master. So it is as good as like Lord only giving the empowerment. So we cannot reduce the level. Okay. And that too bona fide spiritual master. Subharav Prabhuji, is it fine, Prabhuji? Hare Krishna. I think Prabhuji is not there. Okay, fine. Panchakalpadarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai, Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
कृष्ण माता जी दंडवत प्रणाम माता जी।
Dandavat pranam.
Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.